Hey everybody, this is Troy Alexander, Inspiration with Troy Alexander. One more time, we are back. Listen, to encourage you, to inspire you, to never give up on your dream. Listen, you know my motto, dream, take that step and walk with purpose into your destiny. Listen, I'm excited tonight. We have an amazing guest. But before we get there, listen, I talked about my purpose. Stay connected with us, y'all. We are on Instagram at Pick by Design, PIC BY Design. You know, I love to take pictures. Listen, we on YouTube, Inspiration with Troy Alexander. And listen, we on a nonprofit. I got the producers going ahead. We're good to go. And listen, follow us, even our nonprofit called to inspire.org. Listen, follow us, stay connected, email us. iaminspiredtroy at gmail.com or m.troyalexander@yahoo.com. Listen, one point of purpose real quick before we introduce our amazing guest. Listen, there were people have said, Troy, listen, I have never done that before, but guess what? Everybody got that statement along their journey. Why? Because before they did it, listen, it was new to them. And listen, and they said, well, listen, I don't know how to do that, but guess what? Somebody does. So there's a way that you can connect to somebody and to learn how to do what you don't know how to do. Listen, don't ever have an excuse that you can't climb that mountain. If you don't know, ask somebody who's already done it. I'm telling you right now, this is what this show is all about, is to bring people that have achieved amazing plateaus in their life to inspire you, to let you know you can do it too. Well, tonight I have an amazing guest. Listen, Miss TRACY Hunter. Listen, right now she is the International Miss Starlight Universe Ambassador 2020-2021. She works with the FBI. I said it, the FBI. Listen, she has traveled about 137,000 miles between North America, South America, Canada, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Listen, she is aspiring to have a degree in cultural anthropology. Let's give it up for Miss TRACY Hunter. How are you, TRACY?
I'm fabulous. Thank you so much, Troy, for having me on your show. I'm phenomenal tonight. Thank you.
Wow, listen, it's such an honor. It is such an honor. And listen, before we start, listen, TRACY, I got to tell people, listen, I was at an event shooting, right, taking pictures. And Miss Hunter, TRACY, listen, she was one of the pageant queens, right, that we were taking pictures, and we having a break, right, and we're just having a nice conversation. How you doing? And some, I'm like, she said, well, yeah, I work for, I'm like, the FBI? I said, do I need to check my credentials? Do I need to check my, I said, is everything all right with me? So it was, I was so in awe.
I know great people and I meet them, trust me.
Wow. I'm like, listen, I got to make sure all my things, listen, have you always aspired to do something within the law enforcement area?
Not at all. So when I was younger, I did not aspire. I had no clue about law enforcement. I aspired to have something to do with travel because I loved people.
Yes.
So I think I looked at many different options. I wanted to be an airline stewardess. I also wanted to work for the Foreign Service. I also wanted to be an archaeologist, and I ended up with the FBI.
Wow.
Yes, yeah.
What an amazing place to end up. And I'm like, it's so amazing that because I don't know if I ever met anybody that's actually worked for the FBI.
It's me.
Yes, yeah, I know someone now.
15 years, and I love it. It's phenomenal. I know it gets a bad rap. Sometimes it gets a bad rap in the media. FBI is phenomenal because I work for them, and I know the people who work for the FBI. So we are a phenomenal group, and we do an excellent job. We do.
Wonderful. And listen, I know what you there. They are on point, without a doubt.
Thank
you. Listen, you are in the counterterrorism support operations technician. I'm sorry, you are a counterterrorism support. Listen, that's a long title, TRACY. What does a counterterrorism support operations technician do in general?
So for the most part, my specific position on a day-to-day basis. I work with the special agents and also financial analysts. My job on a day-to-day basis deals with the administrative side of the bureau. And that entails dealing with ordering supplies. I also assist my agents in whatever their needs are. I also manage a fleet of 30 vehicles, which means I have to take them for their maintenance. I also have to
Wow.
make sure that their registrations and insurances are up to date. And as the financial side of it, I manage a large budget. And that's the fun side because I get to shop. I get to shop every day for the office.
Wow. Wow. What now I didn't ask you this, but I can imagine, like your background has to be somewhat like impeccable, right? I mean, you have to have like,
And that goes into, so for people who want to join the Bureau, the FBI, yes, you are going to go through a background investigation.
yeah.
And yes, they check everything. And you have to be honest on the application. And it's funny because when I applied, there was one thing that I missed and they caught, and it was a minor thing. It was a no turn on red signal ticket.
What?
And I did pay it, but they saw it, but I had not listed it because it had
Right,
happened many years
right.
prior. But yes, you do. The FBI is about it's about honesty and integrity. You have to be honest, but if you miss it, trust me, they're going to catch it.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. And so I want to ask you because in my mind I'm thinking like, well, everybody who works with the FBI probably carries a, a firearm. Do
No.
no. Okay.
Mm,
Okay.
nope, nope, no,
She
not
said
at all.
that.
Yeah, it's only the special agents who carry the firearms.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I no, I don't carry a firearm. However,
Okay.
the fun part about it is I do get to go to the range with my agents to
Wow.
to shoot off firearms. So no, not everyone carries. The special agents are the ones who carry firearms, but the other people are support staff. They're linguists. We have legal staff. There's so many jobs and careers under the bureau. I mean, it's amazing. But the agents and also our task force officers who work for other police departments work within our office and they help us. They, of course, are armed, but no, I'm not armed. Thankfully, because I'm not a fan of weapons. So I would prefer not to carry a weapon, but I do I can go to the range at Fort Dix when I want to release some stress.
Wow. So wait a minute, Tracy. Okay, even though you may or may not, right? We're not trying to give that away, right? Whether you may or may not have, but so you're telling me that you go to the range and
Mhm.
you know how to shoot a firearm.
Yes, I'm not good at it. Don't look. I'm not good. But yes, I do have the opportunity to do it
Wow.
whenever I want to, whenever my agents have to go,
Right.
because they have to practice. They have to, keep up a certain level of their skills with the firearms. I can go with them.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not a fan, but I do have the opportunity, and I have been. It is fun. But I don't do it too. I look, I prefer to be in the office. I can stay behind the desk all day and I'm okay with it.
Wow. Don't y'all mess with Tracy. I know you know what she said. Don't mess with her. Listen, I want to ask you, did working for the FBI, did it give you a sense of being more on alert? Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, you're more aware of your
Yeah.
surroundings. Like, did you find yourself going in that route?
Yes, and it's mainly because of the training that I received.
Mhm.
It's that gut instinct.
Right.
So, several trainings that I had to do teaches you how to recognize that gut instinct. And we all, as human beings, have that gut instinct. For the most part, our gut instinct is right. It can be wrong. But yes, if you enter a room and you feel something's not quite right,
Yes.
it could be that your gut instinct has kicked in, and it's that fight or flight response. And that tells you that either you gotta get out of there, or you also have to see something and say something. But yes, I have received training in that fight or flight gut instinct response. And yeah, I am alert, especially when I travel. I am very alert.
Well, listen, I want to ask you, are you the kind, like, are you at a point now, or is that more on the agent type level where um you can kind of read a room, like you're walking into a room and you kind
Mhm.
of like know where things are, who's in the room? Because I know some people like they can walk into a room and I like they can tell you what color your shoelace is, because they observe everything.
Yes.
Is that
Well,
you?
and it's weird because I don't do it as much now that I'm home from overseas, and I should do it. I should do it more often. I did it all the time when I was overseas because that's what we're trained to do. A lot,
Right.
even though things happen here in the US, there are things, probably more things that happen overseas. And the training we receive trains us to do that. So, yes, we are trained to recognize things that are out of place. And like I said, and anyone can do it. You can just walk into a room and just sense from the people, the atmosphere, something's not quite right. And that's for everybody. And if it doesn't feel right, you have the option. It's all about you. You can leave that room or you can stay, and maybe hopefully something won't happen, something bad
Right.
won't happen. But if something does, then that means, yeah, your instinct was right. Yeah.
Wow. Well, listen, I first of all, again, we're so proud of you and all that you have done thus far and what you're going to do. I have to ask you, you talked about overseas.
Hmm.
Listen, I understand that you have worked at 4 U.S. embassies
Loved every
and
minute
have
of
traveled. Oh my God, and have traveled over 137,000 miles, as you said earlier, between North America, South America, Canada, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Um, um, Tell us about that experience, right? Like, is it? Are you able? And I'm not sure if I asked this to you before, but is it? Are you always on alert?
So I'm not okay. So yes, technically, because of the job I do, I carry a bureau phone and I am always on alert. So, for example, today I received a few phone calls, and I'm on vacation this week. I
Yes.
go back Monday, but I always have to answer my phone because I never know, it could be a severe emergency. However, I find that I can relax once I leave the job, but
Mhm.
I still am on alert. When my
Right,
phone rings, I respond to it.
right,
As far as when I was overseas, it was a little bit different when I was overseas. It was extremely busy. I was on alert 24/7, all hours of the night. My phone could ring two, three, four and I had to get up and respond. It's a different situation overseas.
right.
But I do find when I come home from work, once I leave work, I can still relax because normally it's not an extreme circumstance that I have to deal with here.
Right.
But I always make sure I pick up that phone. If I miss the call, I immediately call back. to make sure that everything is okay.
Wow, wow. Listen, that's amazing. And I have to ask you, like, what impact did that have, or did it have an impact on your family, like on your children? Because I've heard of military families, how the children would, or some children can travel, right, with their
Mhm.
parents and so forth. Like, how did that work out, or how did that impact you and your family?
Not much. So I honestly have to say that my job does not impact my family much.
Okay.
And also my girls now they're grown, but I did join the FBI when my youngest daughter, she was still in, I think, middle school. My oldest daughter was a little bit older. They're 7 years apart. However, I don't think that it had a great impact on my family at all. But I've been able to manage it.
Yes.
I want to make sure that it doesn't impact them. When I did live and work overseas, thankfully, my youngest daughter, she was able to visit me. Thanks to the bureau, they paid
Won-
for her trip.
Wonderful.
But even when I think my living and working overseas may have impacted my family a lot more, and it was mainly because my mother's aging, and we live together, but I left her to go and chase my dream of living and working abroad. So and I have to admit I was a little bit selfish in that I left my sister to handle the responsibility. And what was great is my sister would call me and we would, bang heads together and we would work through the issues and everything worked out fine. So, but yeah, no, I really don't see that it had a significant impact on my family, my girls at all.
Wow. Well, listen, it's grateful to have a support system like you had, with your sister and others that
Mhm.
were around. So that's wonderful. And everybody needs that, right? Everybody needs to have a support system as
She's
well.
wonderful. She's phenomenal. I love my sister. Shout out to my sister,
Yeah, is it her name?
Sanja.
Sanja. Shout out to Sanja. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. And I want to ask you, have you ever had to experience any really, without going into details, right? Any serious, intense moments when you were overseas?
So there was a moment when I was living in Qatar, Doha, Qatar. It wasn't intense, but I did have an incident where there was a guy who was twice. There was a guy who was following me. Once when I was walking, and Doha is absolutely a beautiful country. I was out for a walk and he was following me,
Wow.
and it was a little bit intense, and he actually approached me and started questioning me and started making comments. That was an intense moment, and there was another intense moment in the same country where someone was following me, I believe around the grocery store.
Wow.
And all I did later on, I reported it because when I'm working overseas, I work for the FBI, but I also work under the Department of State. So it has to be reported to both organizations. And the Department of State was quite surprised in Doha that I had experienced that. So I think that probably was maybe the most intense moment because I'm a female, and to have two separate guys following me around in the same
Yeah,
country, it is a little bit scary.
I can only imagine. I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm like, so like, do you have any kind of physical, like karate or self-defense training? I mean, because
I
uh,
do. I have to give a big shout out to the FBI and the Department of State. I had to do training under both entities. The Department of State, that is their job is overseas. And of course, working for the FBI, we have embassies or consulates. We're in those embassies and consulates overseas. So the training that they provide, yes, have to take, I did have to take self-defense training
Yes.
before going over. So yeah, the training is so phenomenal. Yeah, it
Wow.
was great. I learned so much. And yes,
Wow.
I can use it here, in the States.
Absolutely.
Someone approaches me or tries to attack me, I'm equipped and I know what to do, which is great.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm telling you, I told y'all don't mess with Tracy. Don't you listen, see her, say hi to her, be nice to her, but don't
And
cause no
look,
trouble.
I'm good. Yeah, as long as you're a good person, look, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm really a nice person.
She is, y'all. She is. And, even though she is like a lethal weapon, but she is nice. She's nice. She's nice. So I wanted to ask you, do you ever see yourself as a role model? Because again, we're going to talk about, right? You're being an ambassador, right? Right. This amazing ambassador, and in the pageant journey, we'll talk more about that.
Mhm.
But do you see yourself as someone who can inspire others, especially young people?
Well, I have to be honest, I never saw myself as a role model. And I've never had anyone approach me as such. However, I would not mind being a role model. I love our young people. I love, and I especially, I'm sorry, I had to be a little partial. I love girls because I have two daughters.
Yes. Yeah, that's
So
okay.
I have the ability to rear girls, but I would love to be a role model. I love to share my story,
Yes.
and I would love to hear other people's stories, because if I hear their stories and their dreams and their inspirations, I would love to inspire them and push them to achieve what it is they want to achieve.
Well, listen, everybody. Again, I said it earlier. This not only is Tracy Hunter Miss Starlight Universe Ambassador, but and works for the FBI, but she is also aspiring to become a Girl Scout troop leader. I'm telling you, I'm talking about an all around, just an amazing. And now, what is it that has inspired you to want to become a Girl Scout troop leader?
I love girls. I'm a woman. I love girls. I have two
Wow.
girls. I was a Girl Scout. Both my daughters, Troy, they both were Girl Scouts. So I
Wow.
have spent years with the Girl Scouts. And now that my girls are grown and out of the house, I felt the need within the past few years to volunteer my time with a troop in Plainfield. And it's been a wonderful experience. And it's just, I can't describe it. I've met so many wonderful troop leaders. I met so many wonderful girls. And I think a lot of the Girl Scouts, that is their dream. They want to become the best. They want to become more. There's so much they want to achieve. And I want to be there for all of that. Like, I would
Wow.
love to see it, I love to
Wow.
see it in my girls, but my girls are grown out of the house. I have a daughter who's married, but, I feel the need now, since, it's just, me. I want to really, work with the Girl Scouts and inspire them and help them achieve their dreams and goals.
Wow. That's amazing. Listen, right, I told you she's amazing. I told you that she is an amazing individual, an amazing person, an amazing woman, just all around
Thank
amazing.
you.
So I'm so honored that you took the time out to come on our broadcast to share your amazing journey. And I know you've said it, but I want to give you one more chance. What what do you want the young ladies in the Girl Scouts, for those who do have the opportunity to meet you and engage with you? What do you want them to walk away with?
I just want them to walk away with knowing that regardless of what obstacles they come across in life, regardless of what people they come across that may tell them that they can't do or accomplish their dreams. I want them to know that they can do it.
Yes,
And that's the most
yes.
important thing. And I just want them to know that there are people out there that care about them. And I'm one of them. That, I just really want to see them just be the best they can be, just whatever their dream is. I mean, I believe that, they can make a difference in this world.
Man. And listen, you are a prime example of that.
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you, listen, everybody, listen, you
Thank
are, I mean, listen, who knew, right? Your love of travel, your desire to want, and through the FBI, through that journey
you.
path, it has allowed you to travel
Mhm.
all over the world. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't even imagine what that was like or that experience. But can you talk about that a little bit about what was
Amazing.
of all,
I,
first of
I
all,
mhm.
let me ask you, do you speak more than one language?
So no, so when I was in college, years ago, I'm not gonna say how many. I did study, and I studied Spanish, and I love Spanish, and I do want to pick up, where I left off. I
Yes,
studied it up to the intermediate level. But once you stop studying, you don't speak it, you of course lose it.
right,
I do know how to read and write Arabic because I studied the Islamic religion and culture many years ago. And that I still maintain a lot of the reading and writing. When I lived overseas in Tunisia, I had to use French. The Tunisians speak a beautiful language called Tunsi, which is a form of Arabic, and it's a little bit of French mix. It's such a beautiful language, but a lot of the Tunisians speak French or they can
right.
understand French.
Mhm.
So when I lived in Tunisia, I had to use my eye translate because I had no, I think my French training was in middle school. I'm not going to tell you,
Wow.
Troy, how long ago that
No, listen, listen. I'm in the same. I'm like, no,
was.
that's okay.
But
That's
it
okay.
was fun because it
Yes.
was challenging, and I as a cultural, studying cultural anthropology, that studies everything. So I love trying to learn or attempt to learn the language, even though I would have to carry my phone everywhere I went, and I would have to speak into my phone and have it translate back to me. But
Wow.
it allowed me to get the things that I needed and wanted. So
Oh my
that's
goodness.
the most important thing. But I only speak English fluently, and I hope that I'm speaking English fluent. But
You're
no,
doing fantastic.
I would really love to continue my studies in Spanish. I would love to learn the Spanish language. I think it's beautiful, one of the most beautiful languages, and I would love to learn Mandarin Chinese. And
Wow,
yeah, and
Tracy.
so yeah, so and I had to say the reason why I would love to learn Mandarin is because of COVID. I was home for 3 months on administrative leave due to COVID, and I found myself hooked on the Chinese dramas.
Okay.
And after a while, I got tired of reading the subtitles. And then at the same time, I actually gained a love of hearing the language.
Yes.
So that one, and I'm going to tell you the reason why that one is on my bucket list to learn along with Spanish is because I told one of my oldest friends, one of my friends from many, many years ago, we spoke recently, and I said, I want to learn Mandarin. And that person told me that they didn't think that I could do it.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? Here's the thing. You're telling me I can't do it, yet I have actually spoken to not only Chinese people, however, I've spoken to Americans who did learn it and they said I can do it. So
Yes.
it could take, a couple of years, 3 years at the most. But when somebody tells me I can't do something,
Right, right, right.
yeah, look, I want to do it
That's
now.
right. That's right. Tell them, Tracy. That's right.
I want to do it.
That's right. And I love that attitude about you. I love that personality, that character trait. I mean, I love that word. Yeah, tell me I can't. Tell
Yeah,
me again that I
that's
can't
it.
do it, right?
That's
And
it. And
and listen, I'm gonna take that step, right? And I'm gonna show. Listen, by the time we talk again, it's gonna already be done. So
yes,
that's it.
it will. Look, I'm going
Yes,
to talk to you in Chinese.
that's right. I love that, Tracy. That's right. And listen, and that is what young people need today, right? They
Mhm.
need to see somebody. Listen, tell me. Listen, I might not be 5 years old or 10 years, but listen, whatever place I'm in life, I still have the ability
Yeah,
to achieve, to set a goal and accomplish it. So that's listen.
yeah,
I can't wait.
yes,
I
thank
can't wait.
you.
You let me know. I know Mandarin. I think I said it right, right?
That's it, Mandarin. Yes.
Mandarin. Thank you.
Yeah.
So wonderful. Listen, you talked about cultural anthropology.
Mhm.
Listen, y'all. Not only is Tracy, again, I said it, Miss Starlight Universe Ambassador 2020 2021, but not only does she work for the FBI, not only is she about to become or aspire to become a Girl Scout troop leader, but she's looking to get a degree in cultural anthropology. Now, Tracy, I'm like, listen, your kids are grown and you just going like, I'm gonna achieve everything now. I'm like,
I do. I want it. That's
wow,
my love.
wow,
Cultural anthropology is because I love people
yeah,
and I love culture. And it started many years ago when I was a little girl. I loved watching programs on TV, seeing the African tribes in Africa, just seeing Asia and South America, that I just fell in love with people and culture. So that's what inspired me to want to go after that degree. I wanted to learn more about everyone across the
wow.
globe. Like we're all humans, and I wanted to know as much as I can about everyone. So cultural anthropology I was introduced to when I was going to school at Union County College. And I had a geography professor who was phenomenal. And I hope I would never forget him. He just took us all over. He took us on tours, he took us to museums. And one day I pulled him aside and I said, "This is what I love. I love the study of everything and everyone." He said, and at that time my major was international studies. He said that you need to change your major and study cultural anthropology. And and after that semester I enrolled in Rutgers University in New York and began my cultural anthropology studies. And
My alma
it was
mater.
wonderful. I had to put it on hold, and I'm sad I
Yes.
did have to put it on hold when I ended up going overseas. I'm about 35 credits or so from my bachelor's, but
Okay.
I did not feel that I could handle the online courses because
Right.
the overseas job had me travel from country to country. I was back and forth from the States back to where I was working. It would have been too much, and I don't believe I would have been able to keep up with the studies. So, but it's still anthropology is my love, and I do hope to complete that degree. I don't
Yes.
have a date.
It's okay.
Yeah, but yes, it is on my bucket list, and even I would love to get a master's in it if it's available. So I want the top. I
Go
want
ahead,
I
Tracy.
want the best.
Yes, I love it. That's what I'm talking. Listen, I love those who set the bar high,
Mhm,
right? That this is what I desire, right? And no matter what it's going to take, right?
mhm.
I'm determined. So listen, that's amazing. Well, listen, on your graduation date, make sure you let me know when your graduation is.
I will. I definitely will. And
So listen,
I do hope it's soon. I want, sometimes I tend to procrastinate, but with that, it's always every day. Like I always think, I need to re-enroll, even if I take one course at a time. I can take an
yes,
online. I have a lot of time on my hand. I have to do it, even if it took me, another 3, 4, 5 years. I do want to do it. So that is my goal.
you will. It's done. Listen, it's on your vision board. I know it's done. That is wonderful. Listen, again, we are so proud of you because right now you have inspired so many to just think, well, you know what? I can't. No, it's too. I'm not. Listen,
Mhm,
let's erase all the barriers, right?
mhm,
Because somebody did it.
mhm.
So find out how they did it. Now I want to ask you now, with all this travel that you've done,
Mhm.
you have to have albums, right, of pictures, and you have to have like a studio of artifacts.
My house looks like a museum. Yeah,
Listen,
and it's not, no, it's not just me. I have to loop my mom, and my mom is the one who actually gave me and my sister the love of travel. So I have to
wow.
give her that shout out.
Shout out to your
So
mom. Yes.
once I started to travel, and of course I have this love of culture, I wanted to bring everything home with me.
I can
I
imagine.
mean, I have carpets, I have artwork. There's behind me, you could probably see a little bit. I have
Yes.
two beautiful Tunisian doors. These are actual doors.
What?
Doors because the Tunisians, they paint their doors of their home in beautiful colors. And I fell in love with the doors when I landed in Tunisia and I saw the doors. And for 2 whole years, I said, I'm going to bring home two doors. And a month before I left Tunisia, one of my Tunisian friends found me the two doors behind me.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yes, I have magnets. My youngest daughter, she has collected snow globes. She has more than 70 snow globes from countries all over the world. We have magnets on our refrigerator for so many places that me and my mom have traveled. Just, yeah, our house looks just like a museum, but I love it. Look, I said if I run out of space, I'm gonna get rid of my bed and sleep on the floor. just, just to put something in here from another
Wow.
country.
I love that, Trace, about your love of culture. I love that. Listen, have you ever thought about now? Listen, I'm not saying bring folks in your house, but you should really consider. Like I've seen people
Mhm,
change part of their house
mhm.
into like a museum. I've
Right,
seen people take a part of the house and change it into a restaurant. I
right.
have. So
Yeah.
you might want to consider. I mean, just imagine teaching people
Hmm.
about the culture that you've learned
Hmm.
to inspire them, even if it was a class trip,
Hmm.
whether it was a high school or a college class, right? Or somebody going into the field of anthropology, being able to do a field trip, not to your house, but to wherever else you will hold or your house, right? But somewhere where you can teach. I mean, that would be amazing.
Well, yeah, and I've never thought about that. But however, because we have so many family and friends come over, for
Yes.
holidays, celebrations, a lot of people do ask us about some of the artwork from other countries that we have. So, for example, the doors behind me, I'm in love with them because you can probably see it. My
Yes.
oldest daughter thought it was a ghost. However, it's not. On both doors. It's a Tunisian woman who is dressed in the traditional clothing. It's called a sari, and it's a modest dress that usually older Tunisian women wear, or Tunisian women who are widowed. So they dress that way as a way to maintain their modesty. So yes, I can explain to people who don't know what that is. It means a lot to people. Might see it as strange or might look at it and say, oh, that's a go. No, for me, it's I know what it is, and that's special to me because, yeah, I'm in love with the culture and I understand the culture. I understand the dress and why they painted it that way, and why the woman is wearing that dress. And that would allow me to teach someone about another culture. And that's what I would love to do.
See, I hear it in you, Tracy. Like I hear, I'm telling you, I hear the professor in you. I hear the instructor in you. I'm like Dr. Tracy Hunter. Listen, she's coming, y'all. Next thing you're gonna see, you're gonna Google. You're gonna be like, Dr. Tracy Hunter's Museum of Anthropology. I'm telling you, you're
That
gonna
sounds, yeah, that sounds nice. I like
and that,
that.
don't it? I'm telling you. Listen, we gonna see one day. I'm telling you, Dr. Tracy Hunter's Museum of Anthropology. I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt. Listen, whatever I can do to help you, let me know. But
Oh,
I see
thank
that,
you
Tracy.
so much.
I see that like oh my like because when you talk about it with such passion.
That's what it is. It's that love. Yeah. And it's always been there. And like I said, it's been there since I was a young girl. And I have my parents to thank for instilling that in me.
Wow.
They didn't instill any type of prejudice. So I love people. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are, what gender, what sexual origin. I just love people and culture. So yeah, I bring it out when I talk. Even
I see it.
my girls know. My girls know when I talk.
Yeah,
They know that that's my love.
I see it. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I see it and I see it. And I'm inspired, but like I want to come and learn more about the various cultures. I'm telling you, museum, think museum.
Hmm.
So that could be like another source of like a $5 billion income. I'm just saying, y'all. Listen, I want to ask you, like, how did the Miss Starlight Universe ambassador, like, how did that even come up?
Let
Like,
me
how?
tell you. Oh my goodness. Topanga, I have to, I'm gonna give a shout out right now.
Yes,
Topanga Harmony is phenomenal. So
yes.
the Starlight Galaxy, Starlight Universe came about maybe 10 years ago when my youngest daughter started doing pageants. And after she won her first title, I found Topanga. We met Topanga and she became my daughter's coach. And I look at Topanga, we've had our ups and downs over the year. And 10 years later, we're still together because I look at her as my little sister. I love
Wow.
her and I love what she has done. I love her pageant system. And I love that her pageant includes everyone, all people of all races, all genders, doesn't matter. She wants to include everyone because she feels that, she wants to inspire people too to be the best that they can be. And that whole experience with Topanga and Pat, it's been phenomenal.
Wow. Well, listen, I have to, yes, shout out to Topanga Harmon. Listen, you know, it was her that invited me to her event, right,
Mhm.
to take pictures.
Yes, yes.
And that's how our paths crossed. So listen,
Mhm,
thank you, Topanga. I mean, you have again just done a wonderful job in what you're
mhm,
doing and what the goal is to inspire others to reach for the stars, right?
mhm,
So we are so proud of you and all that you're doing. I have to ask you, Tracy, like
mhm,
you even volunteer your time. I mean, you volunteer the Susan G. Komen
mhm,
Foundation, the Lupus Foundation, the Mental Health Association, the AIDS Foundation, the Catherine's Closet of Newark, New Jersey, the Girl
I
Scouts.
know.
I mean, it just goes on and on.
I love
Where,
it.
where, where do you think your heart for others came from?
It's all over. It's there. I volunteered. My very first experience with volunteering was when I was 16, and I volunteered for a church camp group, and I had to take care of a bunch of little kids for the summer. Now, going into this, I was forced to go into it by my mom. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to like this. I got in there and I loved it. And
Wow.
I didn't receive any money. It was a volunteer service. It gave
Yes,
me
yes,
something to
yes, yes,
do.
yes, yes, yes.
I loved working with the little kids, and they loved me, you know, even, you know, the
Wow.
16-year-old. I was like their babysitter, or and most of them looked at me as their big sister, but it was for a whole summer. So once my daughter started doing pageantry, we got involved in a lot of the volunteer service. And that's where my heart fell into it, because I realized that I was giving my time and my service to help others without anything expected in return. And
Yes.
that was what was beautiful. I met so many people. I met so many friends that I still talk to and I'm friends with today. And that's what it's all about. It's about helping others and, you know, making that connection. But yeah, I just love volunteering. I just it's the best.
Yes. Well, listen, everybody who touches and connects with you are blessed because of you. So thank you so much for all that you do and what you've done and what you're going to do. Listen, I know so many people, right, that have started out in the pageant journey and they sort of like got the bug. Like,
Mhm.
are are you looking to like continue this journey? Like, I'm like, am I going to be seeing you with other titles?
I don't know. So I don't have my youngest daughter has the bug. And like I said, she started 10 years ago. And at the time I was a momager, and that's how I always saw myself.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I wanted to do this for Topanga. I said, oh, let me get out there. My daughter was encouraging me, oh, you could do this. I can't say that I have the bug. However, now after speaking to you, you know, and doing this interview, I might have the bug, maybe, you know, and because
Wow.
I think a lot of people have you know, they give pageantry a bad rap. But for the most part, my experiences with pageantry and experience it with my daughter, we've had beautiful experiences. We did have some bad issues, but we threw those away. We only took the good things that happen. And it's really about girls and women coming together and learning from one another and supporting one another, and you know, just encouraging one another to be the best that they can be. That's what I love about pageantry.
I love it. I love it. Well, everybody get ready because you might see Miss Tracy Hunter with a whole bunch of more titles because I think she might get the bug, right? So listen, listen, you have achieved so much. I mean, you worked for a number of companies, right? And but again, what would you say has been your biggest challenge thus far? Again, whether it's with your professional life, again, now with the FBI, or again, whether it's in pageantry with your daughter, or now with you a part of it to some degree, whether it's the travel, what, what, what would you say has been your biggest challenge thus far?
I think it's hard to say, but when I think about all of the, and I have worked for a lot of different companies before I joined the FBI. I think, okay, on the professional side, a big challenge was learning how to deal with people professionally. And that did take some time and being patient, because everybody has different personalities. And even when I lived and worked overseas, you know, it was a little bit of a challenge. As far as personal challenges, I think one of the biggest challenges I faced was being a single mom and raising, because for the most part I was single. I was married, but I was single for a majority of the time my girls were growing up. I think that was a challenge because, you know, I had financial issues to face. You know, I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. However, I had my family to support me, so they were my backbone. So those are the challenges. And I don't think those were too bad of challenges. I made it through. I know how to deal with a lot of people now. I'm
Yeah.
my patience. I consider myself a very patient person now. But yeah, just our experience. My experience have taught me so much.
Wow. Wow. Listen, everybody. Listen. You're not gonna believe, right, that Miss Tracy Hunter, like, she's like, I don't do this. I haven't really, but I'm telling you, to me, you're a natural. I mean, you are, and listen, as often as
Thank
I
you.
can do to lift you up
Mm,
and to support you and to say, listen, you need to have this amazing person talk to your group, right?
mhm.
Whether it's Girl Scouts or whether it's a youth center, whether it's a school classroom. But your story and your journey is so inspiring. I mean, it is truly an amazing. You are amazing. So
Thank
we are
you.
so
Thank you.
so proud of you. And listen, I don't know. I know we're getting close to
Mhm.
the hour, but I is is there more you want to share? Because I don't. I mean,
It-
we've talked about so many different areas, and
yeah, I know. I love people. I do have a concern, and I consider myself a humanist in that I have concern for humanity as a whole, and also individually, because we're all humans and we're all sharing a human experience. We all go through issues. However, if anyone, wants to reach out to me, talk to me on a personal level, I would love it. I would love to share my journey with people. They want to ask me questions about my career, about my travel, about my personal. I don't mind. I really want to inspire people to be the best that they can be, and I want to inspire someone to go on and achieve their dreams and their goals and their aspirations, regardless of what it is.
yes,
No,
listen.
no dream is too little. No, no, that's what it's all about. I love people.
Wow. Listen, do you see why she's amazing? I'm telling you, let's give it up for Miss Hunter. Listen, you are. Oh my goodness,
Thank
Tracy.
you.
I
Thank
mean, I
you.
mean, I've seen a shift. I'm like, wow, I love it. I
Thank
love it.
you
You,
so
you
much.
are a
Thank you.
true.
This has been phenomenal. Thank you. And I'm going to give Troy a shout out.
Oh,
You've been phenomenal, and I thank you so much for doing this, for inspiring not just our young people, but everyone, people in general, or even our, middle-aged people, old people who still want to achieve dreams. They can do it. And I thank you for your show because I mean, it's been phenomenal.
well, listen, I thank you so much for giving of your time. Listen, before I do let you go, because I think it's because everything has its time, right?
Mhm.
So trust me, I'm gonna have you back when your museum opens. You're gonna be there for the grand opening. When you walk across that stage, whether it's virtually or in person, for that degree, but not only the
Thank
bachelor's,
you.
but the master's and the doctoral.
I'm
Listen,
looking.
we're gonna
Oh,
be there as often as we can to support you. Listen, I'm excited for your
thank you
next
so
journey.
much. Thank
I'm
you.
excited for what is coming next. Is there anything else on your vision board that we haven't talked about?
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my goodness.
well, oh yes, well, yes, my future vision. Of course, I told you I would love to be a Girl Scout troop leader. My future vision goal, I would love, absolutely love to go back overseas and work abroad again. I love the FBI. The FBI is phenomenal. And okay, this is what I need to do. I'm going to give a shout out. I need to please encourage people. The FBI really needs people of color. They need women. They really want people of color and women to apply. Don't be afraid. I don't care, what is if you I will give the information to you. We need people with disabilities as well. Please, please don't be discouraged. Please apply. Although I'm not a recruiter for the FBI, however, they gave me permission. I can recruit. So, I'm here. If please, if that is, law enforcement is something that you want to do, trust me, the FBI wants and needs you. We need special agents. We need support. We need intelligence agents. We need forensic. We need legal people. We need people who have language skills. We need information technology. So if you're good with a computer, we need so many people. So
Wow.
I had to put that out there.
Yes, I love it. Well, listen, how can people, and if you can't share it now, then we'll
I
put
can.
it,
So
how can people get in touch with you?
So okay, so they can get in touch with me. My email address is tmhunter. So that's my first initial, my middle initial, and my last name. tmhunter@fbi.gov. So they can just send me an email. They can ask me questions. I can send them links to the FBI jobs website. If they want to talk to a recruiter, if there's a question I can't answer, I will put them in contact with a recruiter. They can talk
Wow.
to a recruiter. Just, tmhunter@fbi.gov. That's it.
Wow. Wow, Tracy. Thank you. Listen. Any last shout outs or acknowledgments
My
that you want to
I'm
give?
gonna give a shout out to my family. I love my family, my friends, and I have to, because I'm here talking about myself and my career, I have to give a very big shout out to, and I don't know if any of them are watching. I doubt it, but my coworkers. I work with a phenomenal group of people. So I give a very big shout out to FBI Newark, New Jersey. Yes, phenomenal group.
Wow. Awesome. 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 Well, listen, any last words that you want to share, inspire? I want to give you the last platform and then we'll close this out.
I would say if anyone's out there that feels as though they are unable to accomplish their dream, don't go with that feeling. You can do it, trust me. You are beautiful, you are successful. Just don't let anyone deter you from what it is you want to do and accomplish. And that's really important. You can do it.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Listen, this is Miss Tracy Hunter. Again, I said it before, international Miss Starlight Universe Ambassador 2020, 2021, works with the FBI, has traveled 137 about miles between North America, South America, Canada, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. She's aspiring to have her degree in cultural anthropology, and I've said it right here. She's going to become a doctor. She'll have a museum. She'll have art. I'm telling you right now, Girl Scout troop, get ready, y'all. She's coming. Listen, we're so proud of you, Miss Tracy
Thank
Hunter.
you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
thank
much.
you. Thank you,
For,
everyone. Thank
oh
you.
my goodness, for inspiring the world. We appreciate you. Listen, y'all, this is Troy Alexander. Oh, make sure you contact her. Listen, TM Hunter at FBI.gov. That's TM Hunter at FBI.gov. If you want to learn more information, opportunities, be inspired, learn more, make sure you contact her. This is Troy Alexander, Inspiration with Troy Alexander. You know, we're here every week to have on amazing guests to encourage you to dream, take that step and walk with purpose into your destiny. Thank you so much for
You're
your
welcome.
support.
Thank
Thank,
you.
thank you, Tracy. Listen,
Thank
have
you.
a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. Stay connected with us and never give up on your dream. Have a great night,
You
everybody.
too. Thank you.